y'all, I'm Laura Richardson with Relevate, and we are Real Estate Elevated. Today's episode of I'm Moving to North Carolina, Now What is another shorts edition. We're actually going to be talking about this one. This is things that people don't think to change post-move-in. Some of these, once you hear them, you're gonna be like, oh, that's so obvious. People forget to do that. And then a few others, once I explain it, all of a sudden you're gonna realize, eesh, maybe I should have done that and I just bought a house. So the first one is changing out the carpet. A lot of folks will take a look at the aesthetic of a property and kind of walk around and say, okay, I'm planning to repaint, or I'm planning to change flooring or countertops and things like that. But the carpet in particular can be one that you might want to change sooner rather than later, especially if the previous owners had pets. If you have any type of allergies or sensitivities to pets, it's definitely something that you probably want to change to get all that dander and everything out of your home. Another thing to verify is sometimes water or other liquid elements can actually fall into the carpet and absorb into the flooring below. You can't always see that until you pull that carpet back. So carpet is definitely one that I would check sooner rather than later. The second one, and this kind of falls into the pet dander scenario, is air filters. Humans also give off dander, so it's really important that you change those air filters out as soon as possible. Highly recommend for the first few months that you live in the home, once a month, use those cheaper air filters and just change those suckers out. It's real good to get rid of any smells or anything else that's residual hanging out in the home. This one is a big one, and it is not something people think about. If you are buying a resale home, you might want to consider changing the toilets after you move in. So I don't have to break this down into too much detail other than the fact of think about all the people who have sat on that before you are. So it might be one that you want to go ahead and go to Home Depot or Lowe's, quickly change those out, and then you have a fresh, new John that you are sitting on when you move into the house. The fourth one is changing the door and garage codes. So guys, this is a big one on safety. So a lot of folks will ask their seller to disclose the door code or the garage code. Keep in mind, a lot of times these are the same ones that were also published in MLS that every buyer's agent used in order to access the home. It is really important that you ask not only what the code is at closing, but you also ask how to change over the code. You want to make sure that those get updated to something new. There was a whole neighborhood one time that did not change over the builder door code after they created the existing neighborhood, meaning every single house up and down the street had the same door code because it was easy for the builder and his crew to kind of get in there and do their things. But then years later, we quickly realized the whole neighborhood had the same door code, which is a big safety issue. Another one is just your door locks themselves. So changing the deadbolts and even like the handles over to a new setup. It's real easy to get a locksmith and get them actually scheduled for as soon as you close and get all of those changed out and make sure that all of the keys that strategically will not all wind up with you at closing are not the same ones for the house in perpetuity. The last one, again, is another one that's pretty obvious once I say it, but not something a lot of people do right off the bat. Most folks change over their new address on major things, like your bank, for example, or even alumni associations. But a big one they forget to change their address on is delivery services. If you have any kind of subscriptions or your Amazon account or any kind of online purchasing, so think online shopping, make sure it's been updated to your new address. I've actually had clients that have had a home purchase and the previous seller ordered a new bed or some kind of t-shirts or things like that. So we're talking big giant packages that are now getting delivered to the wrong home. Gets a little awkward if you have to do that handoff, and also can be very inconvenient if it's things that you really need to be delivered in a timely manner. So make sure you're updating your address on any platform that you use. All of these things, if you do this, you're going to have a home that is ship shape, ready and raring to go, and that's going to be full of safety for you and your loved ones post move-in. I'm Laura Richardson with Relevate. All right, y'all, thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like, share, and follow us on Instagram as well as YouTube. We're also on Apple Podcasts. Again, I'm Laura Richardson with Relevate.